I love cooking, and I love holidays. Since the price of groceries went up, I haven't enjoyed cooking or planning meals. This Thanksgiving, I was extra grateful to have a nice meal. I couponed and took the bus to 3 stores to ensure I had everything I needed. I had to work a double shift because I returned to work recently, but I stayed up all night to prepare everything. I even made note cards with instructions for my partner and sent texts throughout the day to remind him. When I got home, I walked into the kitchen to the sink full of dishes and an empty dishwasher. I asked my partner why the dishes didn't get done, and he said they all wouldn't fit, and some of the pans were too big, so I don't know what you wanted me to do with them. I was instantly annoyed because what the heck did he mean what I wanted to do? God forbid the dishwasher has to run twice, and some hand washing was needed. I go to the fridge and don't see any leftovers. I asked him where my food was, and he went right into talking about how good the food was. He told me the turkey looked awesome, and it was my best one yet, and how the kids got to eat seconds. He invited 3 of his friends who didn't have anywhere to go, and they took the leftovers off his hands. Maybe it's because we haven't been able to afford much meat lately, or it's because I followed a new recipe. Regardless, I was really looking forward to this meal. I asked him where my food was. I asked him where the turkey carcass was, because I make soup from it, and I don't waste food. He just looked at me and said, "It's all gone." He couldn't even save me so much as a roll. He told me that I didn't ask him to save me some, and he thought I would eat at work. I started telling him how excited I was and how hungry I was, and his response was, "Well, I paid for the food, so I can do whatever I want with it. Next year, you can pay for it and get a plate." I took a sleeve of crackers and locked my bedroom door. About 20 minutes later, I heard him showering and my kids knocking at the door. They told me about their day and how yummy the food was. My oldest apologized for eating 2 plates, and I instantly felt like an idiot. I told him I was so happy he enjoyed it. He's a picky eater, and no need to say sorry. They spent the rest of the night telling me what they should ask Santa for. My partner said I was a selfish idiot because so many people got to eat, and I could just give plasma for money to make another meal on my day off. Am I the idiot? Edit. I just returned to work 2 days before Thanksgiving. I take the bus or walk until I have gas money. We are not married, and it's technically his house and money. Ma'am, the math ain't mathin'. How the heck did he pay for the food if you're working and shopping and cooking? What does he bring to the table? Literally and figuratively. Please drop this dead weight. Rejoice that your babies ate till they were full and happy. But it's time for this clown to go. What a pathetic idiot. I'm a man and I've seen it before. Even my father is like that. He earns more, so he used to pay for most things. Every time my mother bought something with her own money, he would go and say he bought it. Some people just can't understand their partners earn money too, and just because they earn more doesn't mean the other side doesn't help with the bills, groceries, and so on. OP, you don't have a partner, you have a user. Honestly, holding that it's his money over her head to go give plasma, which isn't easy by the way, I used to do it, for another meal? My blood is boiling over that sentence. OMG, girl, I would absolutely lose it. Not only did you have to work after cooking for everyone, but you didn't get to see anyone eat it or even eat any yourself. This genuinely made me cry a little for you. And you have to clean the dishes you didn't get to eat off of? No, no, no. I'm happy you've returned to work. I'd suggest tax season. Use it for a new place and get the heck out. Ugh, sell this man's organs and use the money to treat yourself to a lovely Christmas dinner. Not the idiot, but your partner is. Seriously, I am appalled by the weaponized incompetence and lack of remorse. You were just the cook for him and his friends, and not one of them thought about you. How sad. Drop this loser like the dead weight he is. Get out of this so-called relationship. My fiance and I have been together for 6 years, and she's currently several months pregnant with our daughter. 4 weeks ago, I was promoted, and this meant a complete job shift. I'm doing a lot heavier physical labor now, and due to this, my sleeping patterns have been royally messed up. I've started tossing and turning in my sleep, talking, snoring, groping her, and being utterly unaware of it, and just being all around restless. I understand this is a me issue, and I need to find a way to correct it, but I haven't found alternatives so far. Sleeping pills helps with the snoring and groping, but I still flail around apparently. They leave me groggy the next day, leading to an unsafe work environment. So I tend not to take them unless I don't work the next day. Well, several times I've woken up to my fiance sleeping on the couch and her being over the top angry at me because she's sick of me causing her sleepless nights. I've slept on the couch a few times to try to give her space, but I can't do that too often because the couch is extremely hard on the back and it leaves me in physical pain. Mix that with the manual labor I work and it sucks. Well, last night I apparently kept elbowing her in my sleep. We have a king-sized bed, but I guess I kept rolling over to her side and elbowing her in the process. I did wake up once to her physically pushing me, so I moved back to my side but fell back into a deep sleep almost immediately following. That is until I woke up to her screaming in my face, saying, "Stop elbowing me in my face," and calling me an idiot. Her screaming in my face immediately triggered something in me, and I told her to get the heck out. As soon as she left, I felt terrible. I assumed she was just out in a car, and while I sat and waited for her to return, I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm at 6:30 a.m. and found her still gone. I texted her and got no response. I spent the entire day at work texting and calling and she ignored me. Well, in a panic, I started blowing up her phone 30 minutes ago, calling right back to back and texting her, asking her to please meet me back at this house so we could talk about this. She just texted back and said, "Not a darn chance, actually. Go screw yourself." My buddy said that she's overreacting because she's pregnant, but I can't help but feel guilty. Am I the idiot? Edit, I did apologize. She said it wasn't good enough because her reaction was more justified than mine was. Apparently, I elbowed her in the face 5 times over a 2-hour span and pushed her off the bed twice, and she was done with it because she woke me up several times. I don't recall, and I just kept doing it. 2 separate beds aren't an option currently due to lack of space, but she said she won't be coming back anytime soon, if ever, because she's been sleeping at most 2 hours a night due to my issues, and she's tired of dealing with it. Dude, you are the idiot. You need to do more to resolve your sleep issues, like yesterday. She needs sleep just as much as you do, and this obviously can't continue. Get a good quality air mattress or invest in a sofa sleeper, or set up a bed in another room or in the basement if you have the room. This isn't a completely unsolvable problem. OP's edit, 2 separate beds isn't an option currently. Yes, it is. That's why she's not coming back. She found another bed. Figure it out, OP. This is ridiculous, and you're putting the health of your unborn child at risk. Seriously, what the heck? He's literally just like, I'm actively ruining every single possible night of sleep for my pregnant wife. How dare she actually leave when I scream in her face to leave, even though, again, I am the problem. I'm not trying to fix it at all. Remove the uncomfortable couch and replace it with the one that is comfortable to sleep on, temporarily, if space is the issue. But no, instead, let's assault the pregnant woman in our sleep and then kick her out? Dude, you messed up. Your back hurts on the couch? Buy an air mattress or find an alternative. You didn't go see where she was when you made her leave. You pretend nothing is your fault. You're both crazy with poor sleep, and the baby isn't even here yet. Good luck. I wouldn't return to you. You could bet your last dime on that. I admit, my kid can be a jerk sometimes, but I truly believe all middle schoolers can be. Earlier this year, he got into trouble for calling a girl, Sam, an idiot. According to the school, Sam and my son, this went on for about 2 weeks, and he got into major trouble for it. He got in trouble at school for a week with after-school detention, and he got grounded at home and had a long conversation. I also thought that if she wanted, I would be fine with him moving classes. So he moved classes, and they don't interact at all. You would think the problem was solved, but no. I kept getting messages from the mother. My son has class for 8 hours in another room, and the school has told me both kids are not interacting. I have confirmed this with both teachers. They aren't even in the same lunch period. It's his birthday this weekend, and I sent out invites to his friends. I got a call this morning from Sam's mom about why her daughter wasn't invited. Sam should be invited, and I need to make this right. I had enough and told her my son doesn't owe her kid anything, and if she can't handle 2 weeks of being called an idiot, then she needs therapy. She called me a jerk, and I need an outside opinion. I know my son messed up, but seriously, they haven't interacted in a few months since this happened at the beginning of the year. Sam just truly seems shy, and I don't think she has many friends. I seriously don't understand why the mother keeps contacting me. LOL, what? Not the idiot. That woman is off her rocker if she thinks she can demand an invite for her kid. If your son has been an issue for her daughter, why would she want her daughter to attend the party? This makes zero sense. If her daughter were to have anyone slight her at this party, and imagine slight, your son would be blamed. No, this is simply ridiculous. I get it. Does your son seem to have a large group of friends and is popular? She probably thinks that since your son bullied her daughter, your son now has a responsibility to include her and help her make friends, which is stupid. He apologized, and they've been separated. You and your son don't owe her daughter anything more than that. Plus, forcing her into an established friend group at that age won't help. My guess, Mom was more bothered than Sam. Sam actually likes OP's son. He was the only person who paid attention to her. She's mad at Mom for blowing things up and is now sad that she isn't going to the party because that's the only thing that makes sense here. OP, you should stop replying to this woman. Nothing good comes from it. Just block her and be done with it. My brother's getting married soon, and his fiancée chose a very revealing wedding dress. It's low cut with a thigh-high slit and a sheer back. I'm all for people wearing what they want, but our family is quite conservative and opinionated, and I know this dress will cause a lot of drama, especially with our grandparents, talking people walking out of the wedding kind of drama. At a family dinner, I pulled her aside. I gently suggested she might want to reconsider her choice, explaining the likely reaction from our older relatives. I clarified that I absolutely respected it's her choice and her special day, but wanted to at least warn her of what could happen. She got very upset and said it was her wedding and she'll wear whatever she wanted. My brother's now mad at me, accusing me of trying to control their wedding. Some of my family members think I was just looking out for her, while others say I overstepped. Am I the idiot for telling my brother's fiancée her wedding dress might be inappropriate for our conservative family? Why is your first inclination to tell her to find a different dress instead of telling her you have her back in case anything comes up? Better yet, just not tell her anything, because that's a surefire way to make her feel super insecure about her body during the wedding. You are the idiot. It seems like the only drama is that you created a problem where there wasn't one. Yeah, no one asked your opinion. You could have asked her if she wanted feedback on her dress or your relatives. You could have spoken to your brother about it if there was some reason to believe that he was unaware of your family. You overstepped by a mile. If people decide to walk out of the wedding over the bride's choice of a wedding dress, good riddance. Realistically, OP should have gone to the conservatives and said that this wedding is not about them and they can get over themselves or not come. Warn the problematic people about the consequences, not the person hosting the party. I'm just doing it to protect you, is the controlling cry of conservatives to women everywhere. OP is just more of the same as their family. Realistically, that would achieve nothing but make them angrier. OP can say that all she wants. It won't change the behavior of someone who would walk out of a wedding because of what the bride is wearing. She doesn't really get to say, well, don't come if they don't like it, because it's not her wedding. At least now the bride has all the information, so she can choose to wear the dress based on the full picture. Her husband-to-be was doing her a great disservice by not mentioning how conservative their extended family is. It was my daughter Rachel's tween birthday yesterday. I have another child, Ethan, a younger tween, who was adopted a year ago. Rachel insists that he's not a proper member of the family, as he's not related to us. My wife Emily and I have attempted to convince her, although mostly I did, but it hadn't worked, so we gave it up. We planned to have lunch at a restaurant and took the car. Ethan wanted to sit in front, but Rachel told him, "Sorry, but only proper family members get to sit in front, and you're not really their child." He was shocked, and I asked her to take back what she said, but my wife asked me not to start an argument, as it was her birthday. Ethan sat with Emily in the back, so I didn't argue. We went to the restaurant, and she wanted an expensive dish. I ordered it, and Ethan said that he wanted the same stuff, but Rachel didn't like that. She said, "You want an expensive dish when he's not even your dad in reality? I'd have thought you'd be more grateful, as your parents are dead and you're adopted now." I asked her to apologize immediately, as I could see that it had really hurt him, but she just shrugged and said, "Well, if you want to have it, go ahead. I don't care anyway." But I told her, "You are going to care because your birthday is canceled. We're headed back." I asked them to head back to the car, and she yelled at me and said that she was just joking, that I couldn't do that, etc. We had a really huge argument, but in the end, I got them back to the car. My wife says that although what she said was distasteful, canceling her birthday was extremely uncalled for, and she's mad at me for having ruined her day completely. Am I the idiot? Info. Why has Rachel been allowed to treat Ethan this way up until yesterday? Not just Rachel, but the wife as well, since she was perfectly fine allowing Rachel to keep being celebrated on her birthday and not be punished, despite the dreadful things she was saying. It makes me wonder if the wife didn't really want to adopt Ethan either. Either that or she feels guilty for adopting a child without considering how it would influence her existing child. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it, but they obviously handled it poorly and didn't prep or help their daughter adjust to it very well. OP, you all suck. None of you are doing right by Ethan. To start, Rachel needs therapy. She's not dealing with the adoption very well and is taking it out on Ethan. Poor Ethan loses his biological family and then gets adopted, where his new sister hates him and his new mother does nothing to defend him from his brat of a sibling. I'm an adoptee. You and your wife are the biggest idiots. This is exactly why mixing biological and adopted children is not always the best option, because you and your wife failed to make the transition as smooth as possible and to ensure that all the children are cared for. You and your wife have failed Ethan so much by letting him be subjected to this treatment. Rachel is also an idiot, albeit less because she's a bratty child whose behavior has been allowed by the adults. Do better.